What's going on? This your boy Gangstalk Talk with AJ, and I'm back with another video. So in this video, man, I want to talk about how you control situations that gangstalkers create in controlled environments. If you're into thought-provoking content like this, like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications. So, as you know, a lot of these people like to act, tough, quote unquote, and they feel more bold to do things when they're around other people. Hence the term gang stalking. So them in a group, they love to act out, cause problems, try to make you look bad, say and do stuff, have all these directed conversations, you know what I'm saying, and try to harass you when it's a large group of people around. All the while, when they're on the other side, on the flip side, when they're by themselves, they don't have that same energy. I've caught many people that were in a group setting and they act completely different when they try to converse with you by themselves. Now, I'm gonna give a recent example of this happening. Now, I'm at my kid's school, picking them up from school, right? Now, I noticed the signs of this happening like within a week before, because before that, none of this was happening. So there's this lady that's a teacher at school, but for some reason lately she's been in the office, and I noticed that. So within the last week, I seen her low-key sneak a picture of me the last few times I showed up. So, and I noticed that it's her. It's like the secretary, the lady that work in the office, and the principal, who typically is in her own office, but you can't really see her when you walk in, right? So, excuse me. This past Thursday, so 2 days ago, as I'm filming this video, I go in the office. I go pick up my kid from school. So I get in the office, right? And I noticed that it's the lady that I said is a teacher. For some reason, she's in the office now. The secretary, the principal, and there's this guy that worked there, which I kind of already felt like he was a chatty dude, a chatty patty, like he loves gossiping with women. You know what I'm saying? Effeminate, you know what I'm saying, dude. I kind of had that feeling about him, months before. But we never had too much conversation, right? You know what I'm saying? So it was my suspicion was confirmed. So I'm in the office, right? And I hear these people having conversation. I walk in, I ask, for my son. Now, I noticed that it's taking abnormally longer than usual. So next thing you know, I hear them off in the corner while I'm sitting there. I'm just minding my business. I'm on my phone or whatever. And I hear them having directed conversation at the door, with the door open. That it's like a door that goes out to the little classrooms and whatnot. And I hear them having directed conversation about me and saying little things about me or whatever the case may be. And then next thing you know, the teacher, that's I don't know if she's a teacher or not now, but she looks at me and smiles. And I didn't say nothing. I didn't even smile back at her because I'm hearing this stuff and I'm just like, what? Like, for what? Now, we're in a school, right? And they know that this is a controlled environment. Now, he's in a private school, right? So if I respond the way I want to respond, I'm gonna, for one, I may, you know what I'm saying, put myself in a predicament, but more importantly, my son's education will be on the line. So I'm saying that to say this. When they do stuff like that and they know that they can get away with it, in terms of like, if based on my response in that moment, my son could be jeopardized. So these people are so messed up that they'll compromise who they supposed to be as far as being professional in order to get a reaction out of me in that moment. I don't know these people from a can of paint. Don't care to know them. Don't pay attention to them. Don't think about them. It's just me picking up my son from school, right? And I interact with his teacher, the teacher's aides, and the principal occasionally. Other than that, don't even care. The rest of them, don't even talk to them. So that let me know right there what type of environment that the principal of that school, you know what I'm saying, what type of ship she runs. With her being right there and allowing that stuff to happen, that lets me know that these people are very unprofessional. These people are very ignorant. These people are messed up. They allow this stuff to happen just because my son goes to that school. So I'm sure in that moment they wanted me to react, but I also knew that if I gave them the reaction they were looking for, it's gonna hurt him more than it's gonna hurt him just as much as it will hurt me. You know what I'm saying? So I ignored them. When they were doing the directed conversation, saying things, I just ignored them. I didn't even have headphones on that time because I didn't want to be rude and stuff like that. Didn't have headphones at the time. I just waited there. They were taking abnormally long, but that probably was just to set up this play to have this happen so they can gain a reaction. So I sat there and when she smiled at me, I didn't even smile back at her. I just looked at her crazy, to be honest with you. So once it happened, I just moved forward. I picked them up and then I walked out. So I'm telling you how they operate. They love to act very, very, very bold when you're in environments where there's witnesses, there's people that can vouch for them if something go wrong. Now, if you're getting act out of line, you know what I'm saying? If we act out of line in public, they know that there's witnesses to vouch for what you did or what you say. So when you're in these environments, you got to really be careful about how you act because they're already trying to perceive people that something's wrong with you, so that we're crazy and that we shouldn't be in society. So the best thing for you to do is always just be positive. Carry positive thoughts everywhere you go. Always think positive. Anybody that you know that's on sucker's time, don't even engage with them. I don't even care if you have to, like, you know what I'm saying? And if you have to speak to them, keep it short. I'm here to pick up my son, for example. That's it. Don't even engage with them outside of that. Don't have no more conversation with them. Do what you got to do. Get out the way, because people are very good at being fake. So the fact that they tried to tell me to have a nice day after doing all that tells me, bro, people are way too comfortable being fake in the world today. They're very comfortable. So yeah, you got to really, 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 really work on your composure. Um, just try to, you know what I'm saying, stay as composed as possible in public. Because they will do everything and anything possible to get a reaction out of you. And that's the goal. Because if they make you look crazy in public, then they're gonna have that as a notch under their belt that, yeah, this guy or this girl is something wrong with them. They belong in an asylum. They should be in jail. They shouldn't be allowed to be in public. Like, they treat us like we're animals. You know what I'm saying? They literally treat us like we're animals. Like we shouldn't be able to mingle in the world, and we shouldn't be able to engage with other people. That's why they socially isolate us. You know? And as you know, it's like equivalent to putting somebody in the mental asylum It's meant to drive you, insane. So I want everybody to use their isolation as a blessing. Use it to build your relationship with God, get closer to Him. Because as you know, we're gonna need Him more than ever in times like this. Use the isolation to get creative in terms of like, being self-sufficient. Um, as far as like, how you make your money. Um, and that way you're less dependent. You're less dependent on them. Now you're gonna have to depend on people in some way, shape, or form. But if you're like independent, like as far as like your work, you won't have to deal with people in controlled environments. Because when you're dealing with people in controlled environments, they control how much you work, how much you make. They control um how difficult your day is. They control your work assignment. They control everything about the way you make your money. And people will be more willing to come to your job and try you. And then your coworkers are willing to try you even more on the job to either A, get you quit, or B, get a reaction so you can get fired and or arrested. So and the people that are your gang stalkers, they're gonna come to your job and they're gonna it's gonna be a double, triple whammy because they're gonna give you a hard time too. So in those environments, if you have to be in those environments, you have to lock in and just work. I'm saying like just put your head down, not literally, but figuratively speaking, and just go to work. You know, stay on your purpose. You know your goal, your mindset for being at work. And I recommend everybody that's a TI, if you have the ability, use that job as a tool to create income outside of your job because I'm not saying like quit your job like right now, but be in that controlled environment long enough to be able to get what you need from it and then go out there and create your own opportunity for yourself. You'll be more at peace, you'll be happy, and that'll eliminate, one major controlled environment that you don't have to be in, you know what I'm saying? So think about it, you know what I'm saying? And just brainstorm, because we all have talents, especially as TIs. And some of us have the talent to speak, you know what I'm saying? Some of us have a talent to, do some type of trade, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever we're talented in. Monetize your talent. You know what I'm saying? Monetize your talent and make it work for you. And that way you're doing something that you truly love and it brings you peace. Because when you're on somebody's job, there's so many things, even if you're just trying to have a good day and go to work. You can't even do that because you're so like when you leave your house, you may feel well, but you're in the right mindset, you know what I'm saying? You wake up, you're at peace and just ready to get your day started. When you're at work, you're so focused on what may happen at your job, like what's going to happen at your job. And you don't want to have that mindset, you know what I'm saying, every time you go to work. I know I wouldn't want to have that mindset every time I go to work. And I used to have that mindset every time I go to work. You know, people want to give you a hard time. You know what I'm saying? You're busting your butt, doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? Giving it your all. You're underpaid and overworked. They're trying to stress you out, cause a lot of issues with you on your job. And nonetheless, you end up quitting and then they won. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of times when you quit, like a certain amount of job, they blacklist you. So they make it even harder for you to find work. I've been there. And that's what made me want to get out of the workforce, like a regular 9 to 5, completely. You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't serve me any purpose. I figured, you know what, I'll be more happier and at peace by creating my own opportunity, and I'll be able to live like I want, live as good as I want because it'll be up to me. You know what I'm saying? I'll be able to have the free time to focus on other things that I have a passion for, and then go from there. And that's what you should be doing. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about, what's going to happen in these controlled environments. Unfortunately, we have to be in them, but it's how you react to what they do that's going to give you the upper hand over them, because you can give them the reaction they're looking for. And then once you give them the reaction they're looking for, you're going to leave that controlled environment feeling some type of way. And then when you come back again, they're going to do it again and again and again just to get you to crash. So to be honest, y'all, you know, when you don't give them the energy they're looking for, they think they psychologically messing with you. As you know, being the TI, this is psychological warfare. But you don't realize how much you psychologically mess with them when you don't give them the energy and the reaction they look for. It messes with them. Trust me, it does. I promise you it does. They trying to get you angry, and a lot of times it gets them angry. They just don't show it. You got to understand how miserable these people are. So, yeah, just don't. And this is just like, you know what I'm saying, just to give people some advice, because I know a lot of people do work jobs and they're in these controlled environments, and you feeling overwhelmed and feel like, it's a lot going on around you. And these people are trying to pick at you and get a reaction out of you. But I want everybody, that has to be in those environments, and even me, because I still work in these in these environments. I still go places, so it's not like I'm just I'm just like, I'm just like avoiding these people, but just giving you the game on how I deal with it, you know what I'm saying, personally. So me, headphones, you know what I'm saying? That's the number one thing. I go in there, I go in the store, I get what I need to get done, get out. You know what I'm saying? That's the number one thing I do, is wear headphones. Number two thing is just tune out. When you come in contact with somebody, this is the second thing I do when I come in contact with somebody. If they lead with ignorance or like passive aggressive behavior, I know to just disengage. Just disengage from them. Don't even walk away, because they will try to come up to you and engage in conversation with you. And as a TI, your discernment should be strong, so you should know whether that person is genuine, as far as like genuinely a good person trying to just have a conversation with you, because there are people that are like that, or there's somebody that's just on some fake stuff and sucker stuff, and they just trying to have conversation with you and be passive aggressive and ignorant, and just trying to just have directed conversation and say little slick stuff, sneak this and all that stuff, you know. So just disengage from people like that. Walk away when you notice somebody following you and stuff like that. What I would do is this is one thing I do. This is the third thing I do. So when I see somebody and I know they're following me and stuff like that, and then they look at me, they're looking at me, I'll walk past them and look right past them, like just keep staring like wherever I'm going, and just pretend like they ain't there. That shit fucks their ego, fucks them up, because they want your attention. Just pretend like they ain't even there, like they ghost. It messes with them. I promise you that. I promise you it works. So headphones, just walk away, or just pretend like they ain't there. Those three things. Those are the things you can do in a controlled environment to mess with them, to psychologically mess them up, the gangstalkers. But this is your boy Gangstalk Talk with AJ. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing a cash giveaway to 4 to 5 people on my channel. I will be spinning the wheel. I will have names on the wheel of all the supporters, that I regularly see in my chat. And once I hit 1K, I will be giving away cash to 5 of you via Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle, I believe. So, and if you're new to the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate all the support. So, looking forward to giving back to you guys, because you guys have been along this ride and been along this journey and showed support and love that I thought I'd never be able to receive on this platform when I decided to come out and tell my story about me being targeted. So I'm thankful for each and every one of you. I look forward to hitting 1K and doing a giveaway. Um, Many blessings to all of you. I appreciate the support, the love, you know what I'm saying? And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Y'all have a good night. I'm gone. Peace.